Hello there, friends. It is Jimmy Maverick, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the player filters and how they work to help you craft the perfect draft list for your fantasy draft. Now, of course, we're talking about my app, My Perfect Fantasy Draft. You can access it exclusively through my website, fantasyfootballmaverick.com. So I invite you to go there today to come check it out. And you will see that I am right now, I'm in a fantasy football draft right now, PPR list. These are the position filters, and you can see the player list down here. Everybody's real familiar with that. But over on the side is where you will see this tab called Player Filter. And you can just open it up. And what this does is this gives you a bunch of different ways to filter your list. And for me, this is like flipping your draft prep on its head. So instead of going and doing research on 80 different running backs and trying to find their yards per carry, instead you would just set the criteria. You set the criteria here, you go down, you find rushing yards per carry, running back rushing yards per carry, you select it. And you say, I only want to see running backs who exceeded 4 yards per carry, and I'm going to apply it to the whole list. And any running back that does not fit that criteria will be automatically eliminated from the list. Likewise, if we look at, let's say, an injury issue, if you look on the app, you'll see a bunch of guys with a little red cross next to their name. That means they are dealing with injuries right now. If we go ahead and click the injury issue, boom, they're gone. They're off the list. You don't have to worry about them. And with most of my filters, you can apply that filter to either the entire list or just a portion of the list. So if we just wanted to look at injuries in the top 50, we could change that. And then as you scroll down the list, once we get past pick number 50, you'll see that there are injured players that are still on the draft list. So that's very handy for when, for crafting your draft list. Now, if you're a little overwhelmed by the options here, because there are a lot of different filters you can choose, I recommend you just use Jimmie's recommended player filters. And if we click on that, we'll activate it, and I'll show you what filters I like to use when it comes to the draft list. It just takes a second to pop in. There it is. So the first criteria, consistency rating has to be, if the consistency rating is less than 4 in the top 100 ADP, then they're cut from the list. Are they dealing with an injury issue in the top 75? They're cut from the list. If they've switched teams in the top 50, they're off the list. If they're overvalued for running backs, what this means is their value rank minus their ADP rank. If that's greater than 25, then they would be cut from the list. That it's just severely overvalued players is what you're cutting there. And that's just applied to the top 100. Same thing with wide receivers. And then the running back age, if they are over the age of 28 in the top, over the age of 28 in the entire list, they're cut from the list. So players like LaShawn McCoy, Adrian Peterson, those guys would be cut from the list. Finally, wide receivers over age 30, also in the top 100, get cut from the list. So those are the filters that I like to use when I'm doing my fantasy draft. It really helps eliminate the highest risk, least reliable players, in my opinion. And it's an easy way for you to kind of cull your list a little bit, but still have quite a few players to choose from. And that's the big issue here, is we want to take away the worst players, but you want to see as many players as you can when you're in the draft board. So that's basically how it works. So thank you very much for watching this video. Like I said, I invite you to go and go to my website, fantasyfootballmaverick.com. Try it out for yourself. You can sign up for a free version of the app, and you can utilize the recommended filters button, but you do need to subscribe to use the individual filters below it. All right? So thanks again for watching. I hope you like it. Happy drafting, everybody.